Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the vOLTHA TST meeting for November the 2nd, 2021. Please remind that the meeting is public and recorded and will be posted on YouTube, so be mindful of the content you share during this meeting. We have a few topics on the agenda, but I don't anticipate this to be a very long meeting. So the first one is just a quick reminder that we'll go on code freeze on November 26th, and we'll have with the target of making a release on December 17th before the Christmas break for the year. Andrea, were you planning to have the Jira review on a specific date or when we go on code freeze?
Maybe the week before, so we can make a final, maybe, let's say today is the 2nd, we can have it on the 16th. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, so then we have then we have another one on the 23rd, and then we can go on code freeze on 26th.
Yeah. So we have 10 days from the last Jira review to the code freeze. That should be good enough.
Yeah, and it's also just a plea to everybody to just keep their stories up to date.
Sounds good. Okay, proto changes. I think the patches are up and they're getting reviewed. Did we make any progress in merging them?
There was an update that I put yesterday following some of Andrea's comment, and I'm looking for other feedback. If there's no more feedback, then the +1 will be good, and then I can after that can start to merge the rest of them. Well, I need to rebase the rest of them and then merge them.
Yep. Perfect. So I'll take a look after the meeting, and if anyone else wants to take a look as well, that's more than welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
The TST state of the news, I think we are in a pretty good state. I know Girish pushed a couple patches yesterday, both on master and 2.8 to address one of the remaining issue. Is there anything else we need to do on top of that? Maybe Girish or Serkant, you are the most up to date there.
I am just wondering about the issue. I didn't see in my test, so probably a different use case or different test. You find the data in etcd.
I think there was an issue in the enable disable test. Is that correct, Girish?
I know it appeared in the BBSIM periodic jobs, but I don't exactly know the test. I just went ahead and fixed the issue. But if you're curious to know the test, I can get that for you. I think I should have the link. Let me find.
Yeah, but I think it was not in a straight delete. It was when we were bringing stuff up and down. And then there were some cases in which stuff was left behind.
But Girish, you upload a new patch, right?
Yes, I uploaded a new patch to vOLTHA libcode and brought that into adapter. I did that on master as well as on 2.8 branch. Okay, I'm just looking at the job that Hardik posted. So it was disable ONU and OLT and then delete ONUs and OLT.
Oh,
yeah,
okay. Okay.
Okay, but so as of now, we are seeing all the issue resolved with the tests themselves. Okay, well, there is still one task that is on me to create to add a tear down test to the scale. And then there is a discussion to have in the future whether we need a periodic pruner harvester if the delete fails. So controller port, I'm not really aware what this is about. Girish or Serkan, can you elaborate a bit since your names are beside it?
Yeah, there was a check in vOLTHA libco in some utility in there to find out whether a port is an uplink controller port. I had some comments in there. I think it's referring to that particular patch. What was that?
Okay, so is the patch that Mahir submitted that
Yes.
changes the way the controller port is identified in OF agent?
Yes, I had some minor comments in there. I'm not sure if that was addressed yet. My comment was around just simplifying the check in there.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure that we can merge that. Can we?
But is the patch, so for some reason Gerrit is not loading for me, but is the patch on vOLTHA Go or on
It is.
OF agent?
It is.
Oh yeah, I see Mahir has addressed my comments, so let me merge it.
But
Yeah.
are we talking about the same patch or different one?
Yes, it was the same patch. Yes.
Because
It
I've
is,
seen
it is.
one. I've seen a similar one in OF agent.
No, there wasn't any OF agent patch.
No, there was an OF agent patch from myself there, but that's a whole another thing.
Okay, then maybe I'm confusing things.
This has been tested. If you guys are interested in I built all the containers with this patch and I launched the job number 6. I've written it somewhere in that patch and it verified that it was working.
Okay, perfect. Then
Just merged it.
okay.
Great.
Then
Okay,
these...
we need to extend the vOLTHA libgo, but not urgent.
to update the...
Yep.
Yeah, I think we don't really need to do that, considering that the gRPC changes from Ken are going to come in soon, and that will trigger a chain of updates.
Indeed.
So unless this is urgent, we can probably wait a couple days. Is that something we need to put in immediately, or
No,
can we wait a couple days for it? Okay.
we can wait.
Then what? Okay, then they'll eventually get brought in with the proto changes. So for the OLT application, we started running it on the hardware pods this weekend. We have pretty good result. We have on average 3 tests that are failing. I'm currently in the process of investigating them. I found a couple issues in the app yesterday, mostly about the app running in a cluster. We had more than one instance reacting to the same events. That has been addressed, so I'll keep chasing off these failures. Regarding scale, we are seeing some strange issue when running with this application. I still have to verify if we see the same issue in master, but I actually see the OpenNU adapter disabling some uni, and that because of a timeout in the connection between the OpenNU adapter and the core. I raised the issue in Jira and I asked Michael and Olger to take a look just to confirm that I understood the issue correctly. And if that's the case, we'll see how to address it. But so that's pretty much the state. We're getting closer, but we're not 100% there yet. Is there any question on that?
No, just a minor comment. As I sent you, there is a patch from Telecom Italia to integrate and this is just for everybody's knowledge, to integrate their workflow in the OLT app, which is a transparent OLT workflow. And most of the work is in the pipeliner, so no major problem. But we'll end up having to include this one as well in the new version of the app. If everything goes right, we can just port the patch and include a minor addition in another file.
Yeah. That should be fine. The only preference I would have, since I don't think they need it merged immediately, is to
Nope.
finish this patch, merge it, and then
Yes.
add
Yes.
the support for the new workflow.
Yes.
So, Andrea, is the Telecom Italia workflow, is it gonna be a workflow that we are testing, or?
Eventually,
Okay.
at some point, yes. I know, I talked to the Telecom Italia guys, and I know that they are working on some robot tests to contribute. So at some point, they will contribute these tests, and we will include them in our nightly tests. Yeah. It is, for your interest, it is actually fairly similar in terms of requirements of T-Cont and gem ports and multicast, especially similar to the Turk Telecom workflow. Not exactly the same.
I think it is something like mixing of AT&T and Turk Telecom workflow.
More to me, it's more of a mix of the Deutsche Telekom and Turk Telecom workflows, because it has a transparent OLT tagging, which is more similar to the transparent ONU tagging of Deutsche Telekom. And then they have multicast that you guys have, but more than this, they also have PPPoE, which nobody else has, and that would be something that we will have to test.
Okay.
So talking about PPPoE, I still have this item on me to verify it's working in the new app, or even in the old app. Do you know if by any chance Telecom Italia did it?
So I believe that the current master, meaning the older version of the app, works because they are working with that. The new version of the app, I don't know. The problem is that there is really no test. You can reach out to the Furukawa guys that contributed this. I think they had some manual testing that could be done. Again, I don't know. That's the answer.
Okay, sounds good. I may also check with Daniele, because I know they were actually using PPPoE when they did the P4BNG demo in SIBA.
Yes, but not this app.
Well, they were using the OLT app.
They were using the OLT app, yes, but the PPPoE app from Furukawa not. So that was contributed later. But whatever.
Okay, yeah, but I can just double check with him how he was testing the setup, because the way to send packets into the system will be.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Thanks. So the delete during reconciliation, we had, I think, a constructive discussion last week during the TST, and we agreed that the force delete on the child devices was a reasonable approach. So I think this is just something that needs to be done. There is no discussion that is required on it anymore.
Yeah, there is the code has been submitted, and then there was another case, another corner situation that they noticed. I think it was I don't know if it was Michael or Holger, that
Okay.
noticed that basically what happened is that we are doing a delete all device before we're looking at okay, if the ONU device is on reconcile state, let's do a device delete false. So there's also the case of what happened before that when we no longer have a gRPC connection. So in that case, there's still some work that needs to be done there. Where basically like we need to still mark that device as deleted, so that the very first time that we get a connection, a gRPC connection, instead of doing reconcile, we just do delete at that time. So there's still a little bit of work left there.
Did I summarize this right, Ken?
Yeah, that yeah, it looks good.
Okay, cool. Cool. IPv4 support instead is something that comes from Turk Telecom, correct, Serkan?
Yes, correct. We started to test on the current vOLTHA, but working with my colleague Burak using the BAL 3.10, but we couldn't finalize it yet. But at least as far as I understand from Burak, we need to introduce a new flow for the IP version 6. At least we need to insert a flow that has a ETH type. So we cannot carry the IP version 6 multicast packets through the unicast flows. But with BAL 3.10, we will be able to do that. With the earlier release of BALs, we cannot do that. So we will test it with Burak actually.
Okay, perfect. So all the requirements are here in case people are interested, but before bringing this in, we'll need to complete the migration to BAL 3.10. And I think that's something that is happening in the background.
Yes, correct.
Okay, Girish, do you want to give any update on the BAL 3.10 migration, or nothing has changed since last week?
Right now we have BAL 3.10.2.2 version that was released last Friday. I requested, Edgecore and Broadcom patches, and we need to apply some patches on top of this, GA release, and then compile it. But when I requested, Edgecore, who basically release these patch files for their OLT platform, they mentioned to me that they have seen some problems with BAL 3.10.2.2 release, and they're talking to Broadcom. So in all possibility, we might have another patch release. I'm not sure. But in my test, I didn't see the problems. I'm not sure what problems they detected. So yeah, it's going on. I'm just concerned that we have the code freeze on November 17th. Sorry, 27th, right? So I just hope that everything goes well before that, because we want to go with BAL 3.10 for vOLTHA 2.9. I believe we should still be fine because there is still enough time, but still there are some minor issues here and there.
Yeah, and unluckily, I think this is out of our control.
Right. I have done all the changes necessary for the migration and, all the basic all the workflows are working fine in my tests. It's something that HCore has detected. I still have no details about that.
Okay, but so could the possibility be that we migrate to 3.10.2.2 because that works with the workflows and tests that we have, and then if there is a new patch, we can upgrade it. Because I assume that is going to be a much simpler change.
Oh, well, sorry, I have tested with 3.10.0.0. There were some issues that were detected and I got local patches, and verified that they're working, and those fixes are officially released on 3.10.2.2. And to build 3.10.2.2, we need new patches again for the OLT platform. That has not come to me yet.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. Then we'll see when we get them.
Right.
Yeah, let's. I still do think that if we don't see any issues with 3.10.2.2, as Matteo said, we can probably proceed with that. But let's try and assess what HCore sees.
Yeah, I think there might be a next patch release. From the message from HCore, it seemed like they have some problems with that release. I'll keep you updated for in the next call.
Okay, thanks, Girish. Okay, and then we have voice over IP support that is somehow bound together with the technology profile API to add and delete. I think this is ongoing work that is happening at Netsia/Turk Telecom. And if I'm correct, there are some changes that are up for review already, or not yet.
I know about the product changes for the voice over IP profile. That is a new patch, I think. Yes, that one might be. So this is uploaded today.
Oh, no, I think this has been there for a little bit.
Another one? Okay. So there must be a patch uploaded today by Yasin.
Okay, for the protos.
Yeah, for the protos.
Oh, actually, no, I think, yes, this is the one.
Mm-hmm.
This was updated, yeah, yesterday morning.
Yeah, I have some